Missouri's governor has just a few more days to either sign or veto all bills passed by lawmakers this year. One would ease the process for the state's National Guard to pay for their higher education. Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Joe McLean reports.
The current program that helps National Guard members supplement the cost of college with federal dollars is not enough, according to Will Blaylock, who leads the Missouri National Guard Association.
The federal level doesn't fund it completely. And so this closes the loop so that we have soldiers and airmen who can go to college and basically at no cost.
Blaylock said that provision inside Missouri Senate Bill 912 puts state money towards that education assistance, which he said will hopefully motivate more to join up.
The education assistance and the tax-free enlistment bonus are huge for the Missouri National Guard because they will help with recruiting, retention of soldiers.
The bill also waives the tax bill on recruitment bonuses and re-enlistment bonuses, further incentivizing work with the National Guard or the military.
It's a cleanup of a system that we have had in place, but it needed to be corrected because it is hurting our recruiting.
912 also affects veterans, making it easier for them to get a special parking sign. It creates new programs to help address veteran suicides, and it renames a section of highway in Osage County after U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Paul Hassenbeck, who went missing in action during the Vietnam War. Governor Parson's office on Friday announced a list of bills he plans to sign in the coming days, but this one was not among them. The governor has until next Sunday to take action on bills. In Jefferson City, Joe McLean, WGEM News.